We will use this flashlight of mobile phone as light source. We will point it at one side of the box. I can attach paper cup to the phone and it acts like a torch. What will happen if I point it towards the box? What shape do you see? It is a circle. If we move this torch away from the box, will the size of the circle change? Yes, it is changing. If we move it near the box, it becomes smaller. If we move it away from the box, it becomes larger. What could be the reason for this? You must be thinking why the shape is a circle. It is because of the shape of the opening this torch has. Let us make a small cut on this cup and attach it to our torch. If we place this on the top of this torch, what shape will you see on the box? It is a rectangle. Try similar activity with different shapes and sizes like triangles, stars. What will happen if we move the torch away from the box for this rectangular opening? Will it still be a rectangle? It is sunlight which turns night into day. When you stand outside in the playground, you will see your shadow on a sunny day. If I place this eraser in the sunlight, we can see its shadow. As sun moves in the sky, its shadow also moves. Try this activity with different objects. Shape and size of the shadow changes with the movement of the sun. We can say that when an object blocks sunlight, the area behind the object is dark. This dark shape is called shadow. We don't usually notice shadows, but they are everywhere. In fact, at night, we are in the shadow of the earth. Sometimes they work for us. We use an umbrella to save us from sunlight during hot summer day or take shelter under the tree. Sundials, which tell time of the day, are based on shadow. Your hand can be used to make figures that resemble animals or other objects. Shadow play, also known as shadow puppetry, is an ancient form of storytelling and entertainment which uses flat, articulated cutout figures. The first measurement of the size of the earth was based on the length of shadows exactly at noon in different places. The X-ray images of teeth, bones and the contents of your carry-on bag are shadows made by a kind of light that goes through most things but is scattered by more dense materials such as bones, teeth and metals. Can you think of scenarios when shadows are not desirable and should be removed? The sun is the natural source of light. Do we also get shadows with artificial source of light? Like this torch or flashlight of mobile phone? I will attach my phone to the bottle so that it can be moved easily. Flashlight of the phone can be used as light source or torch. Let me take this eraser and place it between torch and the box. What will happen? I can see the shadow of the eraser on the box. Shape of the shadow is same as that of eraser. Size of the eraser changes. It becomes larger when I move the torch near the eraser. What will happen if I move the torch away from the eraser? It becomes shorter when I move it away from the eraser. Will I get the same result if I keep the torch steady and move the eraser instead? Let us try. When I move the eraser nearer the box, the size of the shadow gets closer to the actual size. If I move the eraser towards the torch, the size of the shadow becomes large, but it also becomes hazy or blurred. Can you think why shadow is sharp when eraser is closer to the box and it is blurred or hazy when it is nearer to the torch? Discuss with your friends and find out. If instead of an eraser, I take this plain glass sheet, will I get its shadow on the box? Due to its nature, glass does not block light. It is not opaque. It is transparent. Transparent objects cannot form shadows. The nature of the shadow is decided by the intensity of the light source, angle the light is coming from, and surface on which shadow forms. We can use tracing paper to reduce the intensity of the flashlight. Increasing layers of paper reduces intensity of light source. A strong light will produce a shadow with a sharp edge. A weak or soft light will produce a shadow with a more blurry edge. That is the reason you don't see a clear shadow on a cloudy day. We looked at shadow when surface behind the object is flat. Will the shape and size of the shadow be same when surface is not flat? We can fold this paper and place it in place of flat screen. Image is different on rough surface. The closer the object to the light source, the larger the shadow. Closer the object to the screen, the sharper it is. It is not necessary that the shape of the shadows will be identical to the shape of the object. We will shift the light source sideways. The shadow of the ball changes from circle to ellipse. The shape of the shadow depends on the direction of light falling on it. Let's take this plastic ball. I will place it on this needle stand so that I can move this near the light source or the screen. This paper screen we can use to get shadow of the ball. When the torch is lit, we see the shadow of the ball. It is a dark circle on this paper screen. Torchlight is identical to pointed light source. It is coming out of a very small area. What will happen if this torch is replaced by a small light bulb? Will I get the same shape of the shadow? When bulb is the light source, ball is receiving light from various directions. It was receiving light from just one source in case of torch. This changes the nature of the shadow. There is a region where the shadow is very dark. This is called umbra. There is a lighter region called the penumbra. Can you see the light from the umbra region? Let us place camera lens of mobile phone at various places in the shadow. Here you can partially see the bulb. This region is lighter as only some light from the bulb reaches there. It is called penumbra. Here you cannot see the light bulb at all. Ball is totally blocking the light source. This is the umbra region. Summary. We discussed what shadows are and how they are formed. This knowledge is very important to understand one of the most important natural events, eclipse. We will discuss this in the next session. Challenges. We always get a black shadow from single white light source. Do we get colored shadows when a single light source is colored? Have you seen the shadow of clouds? Is the size of the shadow same as that of cloud? Shadows have shape. They have size. They move with the object. Do they have weight as well? Discuss with your friends and find out. What about the flame of a candle? Does it also cast shadow?